but we ran into a few of the Burmese gangs, but gee, they were pretty poor specimens. Not that we were anything very much ourselves, but a bit bigger in stature that we were helped us along a bit, I guess.
Now, you got ill when you were on the up there. Which camp were you in when you developed your illness?
I got, I think the first thing that I got attacked with was malaria. Odd bouts of diarrhea, dysentery and that sort of thing, but they weren't too long lasting, thank goodness. But malaria got hold of me when we were at the 100 camp, and up till then I'd managed pretty well, but when we got to the 100 camp, and this was just getting into the wet season, and these bouts of malaria kept on recurring. They just kept coming back. Every 10 days, you'd go down with another bout of this business, and all you could get was just some quinine tablets.
I was going to ask you about that. And did that provide relief or not?
It provided relief, but it didn't. There was no cure in it. It was like taking Aspros. It gives you relief, but not much curing.
Are there any adverse side effects of taking the quinine?
Yes, dizziness, or fuzziness in your ears and that sort of thing. It builds up, but aches and pains, they were there galore. Particularly when you're in the worst part of it, because you were lucky if you got a day off with having malaria, and you just had to suffer it, keep on going, because if you didn't do the work, somebody else had to do it for you, because there was the load kept on, or it didn't decrease any at all.
Now, were you evacuated back to one of the hospital camps, or
no?
Not? So, who was the doctor who looked after you when you were suffering from at 100 kilo camp?
B. Lumpkin and Jock Cunningham as much as anybody, because he used to do minor sick parades, and he was very good.
Now, where did he come from? He was a Tasmanian.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
And at the 100 kilo camp, or when you're on that end of the line, did you ever have the experience of working with elephants?
Yes, yeah. At the 100 kilo, we had to build 2 or 3 bridges. They weren't very big bridges, but of course they still needed logs, because that was the only method they had of building bridges. There was no concrete or stonework or any other method except using the local product, which was the timber. And the chaps would go and select the trees. We would chop them down, and then attach the logs to the elephants and trundle your way back down, following behind. They were quite fascinating to work with. At one stage, one of the chaps who fancied himself as a mahout, he took to one of these elephants and beat it around the head with one of these hooks that they use, and the elephant got quite upset and tried to unseat him, and of course if he'd been unseated then of course he would have also been pulped. But it was quite a nasty experience because the elephant was being badly treated, and of course in his wrath and so forth, he was throwing logs around. So of course you had to keep well clear of it.
Yes.
Because when they pick up a log with their trunk and on their tusks, and they just toss these things, 2 and 3 ton logs. So you don't want to be anywhere near them when that sort of thing was occurring.
Yes.
But they were generally very placid creatures to work with.
Now, you'd be aware that the joining of the line from Thailand and from Burma occurred in October 43. Where were you around that time? Were you close to the point where it was joined, or?
No, we stayed at 100, and we mined a lot of ballast. That was another of our little tricks, that we had to get in there and make the big rocks into little ones so that they could go up the line and be used for ballast. There were 2 or 3 of these places that we worked at, and subsequently after the rails had been laid on the sleepers, we had to go and take all this ballast and drop it in between the sleepers, which was a mind-blowing job if you've had one.
So how did you break the big rocks down? Was there blasting, or?
First of all, we blasted the rocks out of the face of the quarry, and then it was a case of spoiling hammers and just breaking them up. Then when you break them down into sort of fist size, then the blokes who were unfit had to sit there and break those down into smaller sizes again. So they utilised every person who was around.
Now, you must have known, you must have become aware that the line was completed. Do you remember the first train going through that you saw? Or? Yeah,
so first of all I had these, they used the trucks with the flange wheels on them to just drive up and down. They were